The silence that followed when I closed that door for the last time roared louder than any storm I'd ever weathered. 7 years of my life evaporated in a single breath. Yet the most startling part wasn't the pain. It was the calm. A strange, steady calm that settled over me like a long-forgotten weight had been lifted. I met Clara in college. She was immersed in psychology, always dissecting what made people tick, peeling back the hidden layers of human behavior with a kind of fascinated precision. She could read a room without effort, sensing the subtle undercurrents others missed entirely. Her intellect was magnetic, but it was the way she looked at me, as if I was her entire world, that pulled me in. We felt unstoppable, like two minds moving in harmony. After graduation, we took the next steps that seemed natural. We moved in together, got engaged, and later married in a quiet ceremony surrounded by the people who mattered most. The first 5 years of marriage were everything I thought love should be. Steady, secure, a shared dream unfolding in real time. She opened her own therapy practice, and I was climbing a ladder at a growing tech marketing firm. We were building something, or so I believed. We had routines, dreams, talked about a future home, the possibility of children, vacations we'd take someday. I trusted her with the blind faith of someone who never expected betrayal. The shift happened slowly. It always does, doesn't it? Her new clients began demanding more time. Evening sessions crept into our weeknights, and weekends filled with emergency appointments became the norm. She started answering calls with clipped, business-like tones whenever I was nearby. I didn't pry. I told myself this was what success looked like. Sacrifices for growth. I admired her drive, her ambition. I was proud. Then came the workshops, conferences, professional development retreats in different cities. She returned from them re-energized, bursting with ideas and insights about her field. I tried to match her enthusiasm, listened attentively to her stories. But over time, her accounts became vague, polished, like something rehearsed. A strange distance crept in, and though I noticed it, I didn't question her. I wanted to believe in her more than I wanted to acknowledge my doubts. Everything unraveled on a Tuesday night. She left her phone on the kitchen counter before heading into the shower. It buzzed. I wouldn't normally look, but something about that night. I picked it up. One message. One line. Can't wait for this weekend. Room 312 as usual. A name I didn't recognize. A message that turned my stomach to ice. Room 312 as usual. That phrase echoed like a hammer inside my skull. How many weekends? How many lies wrapped in professional-sounding excuses? How many times had I smiled, kissed her goodbye, wished her success, while she walked straight into someone else's arms? I didn't confront her. I didn't rage or fall apart. What I did instead surprised even me. I began planning, quietly, methodically, like I was preparing for a business trip. I opened a new bank account, rented a modest apartment across town, moved my belongings piece by piece when she was out. I made sure there was no scene, no drama, just clarity. When the last piece was in place, I waited for the right moment. On a Friday morning, while she was at her usual fitness class, I packed the final box. I left my wedding ring on the kitchen table, beside a handwritten note. I know about the workshops. I know about room 312. Don't contact me. And then I walked out. The new apartment was spare and echoing. No furniture save for a mattress on the floor, a teapot, and a single chair by the window. It was exactly what I needed. No reminders, no shadows of the life I just left behind. I cut all ties, deleted her number, blocked her online, changed my phone. I disappeared from the world we had shared. In the month that followed, I lived in silence. Not a painful silence, but a healing one. No calls, no messages, no mutual friends checking in. It was as if I had never existed in that part of her life. I sometimes wondered if she even noticed I was gone, or if she simply felt relieved that the performance was over. I dove into work, laced up my running shoes again, lost myself in books I hadn't touched in years. Slowly, layer by layer, I found pieces of myself I'd forgotten. I began to remember who I had been before I'd molded myself into one half of a couple. 18 months passed, and then, without warning, she appeared. I was leaving the office, heading toward my car in the soft glow of early evening, when I saw her, leaning against a lamppost, arms crossed, looking older, not just older in years, but worn in spirit. Her eyes met mine, and I saw something fractured there. "I need to talk to you," she said, her voice quiet, almost fragile. I stopped, but I didn't step closer. "There's nothing to talk about." "Please," she murmured, her voice breaking. "It's over. It's been over for months. I made a terrible mistake, and I need you to know that." I looked at her, the woman I once imagined growing old beside, and felt nothing but a distant, faded sadness. "You didn't make a mistake," I replied, my tone calm. "You made choices, over and over again. Now you're living with what those choices cost." Tears welled in her eyes as she tried to hold herself together. "I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I loved you. I still do." "No," I said, surprised by how steady I felt. "You love what I gave you, the safety, the trust, the devotion, but you didn't love me enough to choose me." I got into my car and started the engine. As I drove away, I watched her shrink in the rear-view mirror, smaller, dimmer, disappearing. And for the first time, I felt a true and unexpected peace. Not because of what she said, but because I finally understood some doors, once closed, should never be open again. The person I had become in those 18 months, quiet, resilient, self-assured, was someone I valued deeply. Someone who would never again settle for being second choice, because I had learned something essential. Love without truth isn't love at all. And some stories don't need a dramatic ending. Sometimes they just end quietly, completely, and that is enough.